Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Alex Steele alongside Paul Sweeney. Let's get a look at some of the stocks on the move with Bloomberg's Christina Aquino. Let's pick it up with Enphase. So this obviously moving on the Senate proposed tax bill and what they're doing with the wind and solar tax credits.
Absolutely, Alex. Enphase, ticker ENPH. That is one of the biggest decliners in that solar stock complex. Shares are down currently more than 23%, but at one point they were down about 28%. That was the biggest decline for a one-day drop since September 2016. And earlier, we also saw shares falling to the lowest since March 2020. And as you mentioned, Alex, that's absolutely right. That is because of the reaction to the Senate version of the budget bill. So basically, the proposal is that they would end incentives for wind and solar by 2028. That is earlier than expected. And then tax breaks for other sources of power, such as nuclear, hydropower, and geothermal, will be allowed to remain until they're phased out in 2036. So initially, there were hopes that it was going to go the other way, but not so much.
So let me just, Alex, explain a little bit on this one.
You.
So tax credits, you can still get them for solar for a power producer agreement. So basically, the utilities can still get those tax credits, but you putting a solar panel on your house cannot. And Enphase puts those solar panels on your house.
Exactly.
So that's where that distinction is, which has many kind of scratching their head, like why help utilities and not individuals? But
right, because do those things work? By the way, I don't know anything about the panels. They don't look good, but if they cut my electric bill, maybe it's worth it for a lot of people.
You know what really helps with that? The tax credits. Because you might have to put out a lot up front to kind of build it. With the tax credits, though, you get a nice little rebate, and that's where it becomes economic. And that's where the issue really is for the likes of Enphase. T-Mobile,
ticker TMUS. Shares are down again, nearly 4% at the moment. And that is because we got Softbank selling its stake for $4.8 billion. That's the biggest U.S. share sale since TD Bank sold a $13.1 billion stake in Charles Schwab in February. And so Softbank, all about investing in AI, right? It has plans to put down as much as $30 billion in OpenAI. And so you'd expect the proceeds of this latest sale to fund those investments. So obviously not good news for T-Mobile. And just yesterday, remember, shares were initially pressured after we got news that the Trump family is unveiling a Trump-branded mobile phone business. So another blow for T-Mobile today here.
All right, JetBlue.
JetBlue, ticker JBLU, shares down also nearly 4% at the moment. And that's because we did get reports that they're planning to accelerate their cost reductions by eliminating some flights, pausing retrofits, and parking some jets due to weaker than expected demand for travel. And that's according to an internal memo, which CNBC reported on earlier. You know, just a few weeks ago, JetBlue actually had some good news because they announced a partnership with United that they were going to, use their loyalty points and have people book flights across the two carriers. They got a boost then, but clearly not a good news day for JetBlue today.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.